It legitimately blows my mind that many people have zero friends. And I've recently learned that our generation has been labeled the loneliest, to the point that the number one cause for preventable death for men under the age of 35, it's self-inflicted. There was a study done in 2021 where they interviewed thousands of Americans, and they found that 1 in 3 men said they have no close friends. And then they asked these people if they had anyone else in their lives they could talk to about something serious, like a work problem, a health problem, a relationship problem. 50% of these men said they have no one at all. And here's the thing, here's the part that messes my mind the most. There's this thing called public health burials, which are government-sponsored funerals for bodies no one has claimed. 80% of these bodies, these people, are men. We have this like grand visualization exercise we're taught, right? Like who will speak at our funerals, what will they say? And that's how we drive our purpose and motivation in life. Forget about who will speak. Literally no one even showed up to these people's funerals. This is a problem that needs solving. And because what's the point? Like the whole purpose of life is relationship and friendships. Who cares if you're super duper rich and you have millions of followers and 5% body fat if you have no one to share the success with?
And I don't think most people would want to be me. They may think they would want to be me, but they don't.
To be honest, I didn't realize I was the lucky one. I'm someone who's constantly flying every few months to meet up with friends with plans. Every few weeks I'm meeting new people. Every few days I'm laughing with my buddies about some stupid shit that happened last week. And I thought that was extremely normal. So what I did is I reverse engineered my life, and I discovered there are 3 principles that has allowed me to build a lifelong network of incredible friends, all without changing who I am. And I wanted to share that with you today. As states the Variance, the last principle on this list is one you've never heard of and no one talks about. Principle 1 is to join many clubs. First, it's important to understand from an evolutionary perspective how men and women become friends differently. See, women like to enjoy talk and conversation without any particular context or purpose. Also, they're very comfortable on one-on-one settings and conversation topics. The reason why that is because back in the day, men would leave the tribe and just disappear for months, and the women never knew where they were going to return, so they had to find a way to keep themselves busy with each other for no reason. On the other hand, there's a reason why men tend to generalize better and feel more comfortable in social situations with multiple people. That's because back in the day, we would hunt as a tribe together, we would fight wars together, anything we would do, it would be together, and there'd be a purpose and a situation why we're all there with each other. And you'll notice this off and on in your life, like the way this is brought in today is because when you go to a bar and you're talking to someone, sure, we might start face to face because that's what society has taught us is what we're supposed to do. But if you really click with the guy and he's chill, he's cool, he's like a bro, you'll slowly notice you become shoulder to shoulder him over time. Like that's just a natural progression of you being more comfortable with that person. Meanwhile, for women, it's opposite. They feel totally normal having a glass of wine and just chatting face to face like an interview the whole night. So just generally speaking, you won't make any new friends as a guy by one-on-one interactions. And you won't meet them with just hanging out for hanging out's sake. You will always meet new people in the right setting. If there's a purpose to meet, or like an activity or something you're doing, there's a general context of the situation, and you're meeting as a group, and you're meeting with multiple people at once. It's not just like a one person on situation. So now that we've gotten out of the way, let me tell you how this principle is it can absolutely change your life. It's truly transformative, and it changed my life over and over again. I moved through many schools when I was younger, and whenever I moved to a new school and became that new kid, the first year would always suck. That was a guaranteed given. I was super lonely, ate lunch by myself. I had no friends, no plans, no activities. No one's gonna obviously hang out on the weekends. I was not invited to any parties. Like that's just the case how it always was. The first year sucked. And that's just what I call it, the 1 year suck. And when other people or new kids came to advice, like moving to a new country, whatever, that would always be my go-to, that hey, just embrace the first year, it's always gonna suck. But magically, something always happened in my life where the second year, suddenly I had friends, I had activity, I had a social life, I was popular even in some cases. And I always wondered what it took for 1 year to year 2. And I just thought, well, whatever, it's just the first year sucked, that's just what it is, and that's my advice to others. But then I realized the only difference between 1 year and year 2 is that I joined a lot of clubs. Like I finally mustered up the courage to join a bunch of activities in clubs. And that's literally all it took. Because clubs are this like tight-knit group of a community of people who are purposely designed to hang out on a consistent basis. And it would force you to become friends with people even though they didn't even know who you are, who you existed, but just through familiarity and consistency of meeting and the general activity that you guys are interested in, it would just happen automatically. And that's all it really took. That's genuinely all it took every single time. Now, if you got excuses, like many people did, like I had my first year suck, you'd be like, Sid, I don't have any hobbies, I don't have any whatever, I don't have any interest. Neither did I. Like, that's the funny part, neither did I. I joined an a cappella team, I would join dance teams, I would join debate and Model UN just for the sake of it, because I knew there was a close-knit group that I wanted to be a part of, and that would be forced my way into it. And what's funny is that, like, sure, along the way, maybe I learned some skills. If anyone, you ask any of my friends, they'll tell you I have 2 left feet. I still don't know how to dance. But just by being part of that team, the serendipitous interaction you have will lead you, just open so many doors that you never realized were possible before. Like, what's funny is, sure, I wasn't like a big singer on my a cappella team, but that's where I met my fiance, like during auditions. So that's really all it takes sometimes, is to join a club, or even just take the initiative to join a club, and you'll start to see like how everything else will change for you. And you can do this in real life too, after college. I recently joined a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu group, and I can tell you, man, they're already gonna be like one of my closest friends in just a few more months. I mean, you can join any type of club, man, like anything near you. Just Google search and join pottery club, meditation club, an activity like a running club. You can join a Pokemon club, whatever it is, bro. You can find something near you and just Google search it. And I can tell you there's so many around you that you don't even realize are actively meeting on a regular basis. And it's good because, sure, you may not even be interested in that space in the first place, but you'll learn a new skill along the way, or at least you'll realize that's a skill you don't want to learn, but make friends regardless doing so. The best part of these groups is they're usually free, and they also hold you accountable to your goals, because I know some of you out there might be saying, Sid, I'm trying to like monk mode it, right? Like, I'm so committed to my goals, I'm so committed to my like life progress that I'm just gonna lock myself in a room and meditate, wake up at 4 a.m., do cold plunges, and just run this marathon and grind and grind. Here's my argument to you. What if I told you joining a club would help you reach your goals faster, and it's free, and it'll be more fun, and you make friends along the way? Let's say you want to run a marathon, right? Instead of monk moding it and being Rocky in Rocky 4 and just trying to like lock yourself in a cabin and get in the best shape of your life, by joining a club, it forces you to meet people who are maybe even ahead of you in the running game. And by joining this club, you'll see others who are better than you and learn from them, and they can guide you and mentor you. You can ask them about, like, I don't know, like what shoes you wear, what gels you take. I don't know much about marathon running, but either way, you're gonna surround yourself by people who are much better than you. And you're also gonna surround yourself with people who are worse than you. And you can learn from it from both ways. And they'll hold you accountable and consistently, because they will have a schedule of when they're running and they're meeting. And it's almost like something activity of fun that you look forward to. Sure, monk moding may be fun for you if you're a psychopath, but it's more fun to do an activity when you're doing it together with friends. So, and you're learning along the way, and you're gonna become a better runner and reach your goals faster. So there really is no loss in this entire thing. Now, if you've gotten this far with me and you're like, still have an excuse in your head, there's probably one excuse. Sid, there's no club around me. First of all, false. I know there's a club next to you. You just don't care and you don't try. But let's say you are one of the 6 people who live in North Dakota, make your own club. That's what I did. When I first moved to New York, I didn't know a single soul here. I moved into my building. I didn't know anyone at all. But what I did, because I knew clubs and the power of clubs, I went to Canva, printed out flyers for a self-improvement book club, and I just posted them everywhere around my building, because I also felt like I wanted to read more. I haven't been reading in a while, and I knew self-improvement, if I'm interested in that topic, reading is really important, but I just couldn't hold myself accountable to read. But what's crazy is by putting just a bunch of flyers in my building, to this day, I have a consistent group that we've been meeting monthly for 4 years now, of 6 to 10 of the smartest people I know. And I've been reading a lot more books, and now we're planning a trip to Italy next summer. Do you see how all this cascades over time? Yes, you can start your own club. Yes, you can join a new club. Who knows? You might be a pottery genius, but you haven't tried yourself. And hey, even if you want to monk mode it with friends and get better at it, because you're learning from people who are better than you in the first place. So there's literally no way that you can't win at this game of making friends if you just Google search clubs near me and join a couple of them. And my advice to you is start today. Don't waste any more time. If there's a goal or some interest that you have in mind, find it. Whether it's an improv group, find it and join it, and just see what happens and how it transforms everything for you. Principle 2 is to keep hosting people. This doesn't have to be like some grand big party that you throw every single week or something. No, it's just, when I say keep hosting, it means every month, a couple of times a month, have 2 to 3 people over at your place. And it doesn't have to be this crazy Project X party, like I said. It just has to be just a little hangout. Now, sure, it's nice to have 10 plus people parties every so often, every few months, and that's great in its own right, and I'll get to how you can do that. But just in general, that should be the mindset. Every few weeks, you should have a couple of people over at your place. That's it. What this does is, being a host is a very powerful position to be in. It gives you the driver's seat to, one, control your own social life, because you can choose who you want to get closer to by literally picking them apart from other friends in groups and putting them into your apartment. Plus, it's a powerful position because it's like, you're doing something for someone else and suddenly they feel indebted to you. This is not some like dark psychology manipulation or whatever. It's just how we work. We feel like when someone gives you a gift, you feel like you have to give a gift back to them, right? So by you being someone who hosts, they look at you in a way that is like, oh, this guy's cool, or this guy's great, or what a nice guy, or what a fun guy. Because obviously those moments are fun anyways when you're having a party or meeting people with friends. And the fact you open your house to them shows them that you're a generous, fun person to be around. And in reality, the best part about hosting is the fact that people invite you, because once in the whole reciprocal nature of hosting. And then through serendipity, you might go through this party and you might not even be close friends with this guy, but you host him at one point, but there might be other people at this party you never met, and you might become friends of friends. A lot of my closest friends these days are friends of friends. Not people who I hosted initially, but it's people who I met through them, through their friends essentially. And it's been some of the most amazing relationships because you would never expected this to happen in the first place through just hosting people in itself. So what I like to give advice is have something in your house or apartment that gives people a reason to come over, whether that's a TV, maybe you have a balcony or a deck. Maybe you live in an apartment building in a big city, so you have a rooftop. And it doesn't have to be that crazy. You can just have desserts at your place. Maybe you're someone who likes to have a little fun, right? Like you can have some of that stuff at your place. Whatever that is, have alcohol or beer or whatever. When you go out and hang out with people, or let's say you're going to dinner with a few friends, you just invite them over and say, hey, like I have some, do you want to have dessert at my place? Or do you want to open a bottle of wine at my place? And invite 2 or 3 people over. And then that's it. That's how you make friends in a more intimate setting and connection. That's the way it works. You don't make friends at a group of 50 people. You become authentic and meaningful relationships in a group of 2 or 3 people. And see, all this should feel like fun. Don't like automate this crap on a schedule and like have a notebook with a calendar invite and all that stuff. No, this should feel more organic. Like when I make plans, it's because I'm bored and I want to meet people and I want to hang out with friends. Like, for example, I don't watch football. I'm just not a sports guy. I don't do that stuff. I mean, maybe you can tell with my hair, I never watched sports to begin with. But I hosted a Super Bowl party last year because I just wanted to watch the games and new people talk about it and I had friends come over. For example, let's say you want to watch a movie. Don't watch it by yourself in the theaters. Don't be that guy. Instead, text a few people, even if you don't know them that well, and be like, hey, do you want to watch a movie? Let's go out together. And the best part is they probably want to watch a movie with someone too. They just don't want to go by themselves. So you almost look like an amazing person, like an angel to tap their shoulder and go with them. And that become like one of your close friends you don't even know. That's all it takes to start. If you're starting to make up excuses in your head of why you can't have people at your house or you can't host people or your place the size of a shoebox, you're missing the entire point. The point is to keep meeting people all the time. It doesn't matter what you're doing. Like if I see something cool on TikTok or Instagram, I just shoot it to a few friends or a few people and say, hey, do you want to go with me this weekend? If I'm going to the Apple store, I'll find someone who knows something about tech and be like, can you help me find you a laptop? If I want to try a Pilates class, I'll find someone to go. Like anything I'm doing all the time, I'm thinking of how I can do this with someone else. Whether it's a comedy show, whether it's a cool new restaurant that just opened up, whether that's literally this, like it's this simple. I wanted to learn how to run more and do marathon running again. I never did it anyway in the first place, but I found someone who runs regularly and like, hey, do you want to help me go to Nike? I heard they have a sale and find me a running shoe. That's all it takes. There's so many opportunities to meet people and just meet them on a rather casual basis. And you can do it all the time, every single week without making it a plan. And that's the whole point of this. So I'm always doing shit, whether that's me making the plans or me including myself in their plans. Like if someone the other day was like, hey, like I want to go SoulCycle. I was like, cool, can I come with you? Like I've never tried SoulCycle before either. They of course are going to say yes. Like once again, most people are lonely. The fact that you are someone who wants to go with them and make an event out of it, it's fun. And it gets them looking forward to. Hey, they might have skipped that class, but now that you're going, they're gonna come with you. So it's making them more fit at the same time. There's so many positives for both sides of you trying to include yourself in plans or making plans out of the blue and giving someone a reason to have a great weekend. Lastly, the way to put this whole thing on steroids is to plan and organize a proper trip. This is the whole point of life. This is where the best moments of life are. It's when you go out and experience new things. Like last summer, I went and ran with the bulls in Pamplona. Like, and the crazy part is there was 4 of us. 2 of them I had never met since like middle school. Like these are friends from 10 years ago and they brought one of their other friends along who I've never met. Obviously you can tell after spending 10 days in Spain, we're all best buds now. That's just what the whole point of life is, to travel, to experience new things, to experience new cultures, to live and breathe something new with friends and make lifelong memories. That's what it's all about, to plan and organize trips. And there's no way to supercharge this friendship making process by going on a trip together, because we're spending 24/7 every single day doing novel things together. you're never gonna forget it. So if you wanna make friends for life, an easy trick is to use your birthday as an opportunity to make people to come. Like if you're not doing anything for your birthday this year, already just plan, I'm gonna go to Tulum, and start texting or asking people, hey, do you wanna go to Tulum for my birthday? The best part is everyone wants to go explore and travel and see new things and do novel things. So yeah, they're obviously gonna come because you're giving them a reason to. And since your birthday, they can't say no easily. And plus you're gonna have a memorable, fun birthday. So never, ever, 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 ever spend a birthday alone. Always plan something to do something fun for your birthday. I went to the Hamptons a few years ago for my birthday for the first time. I got a party bus filled with 25 people. It was so fun. And I still remember that. We spent a lot of money, sure. But it was an experience you'll never forget, and you build lifelong memories with friends who become lifelong friends. And to this day, life comes down to a few moments, right? When you look back on it, like life just goes so fast. The times you truly remember are the times when you go on these trips, and these become a catalog of your memories almost as you get older. So plan a trip, whatever you're doing for your birthday this year, scratch that, go and organize something and get people involved and make it one to count. Life is being meant to live like outside in the real world, and that's what expands your life force. As they say, I think the saying is, it's not the years in your life, it's the life in your years that really count. Principle 3 is to be a good time. Simply put, don't be lame. This doesn't mean you need to be like super extroverted and like an amazing conversationalist and the life of the party. It just means that you're a positive person, you're easygoing, you're a nice guy, and you're naturally likable and fun to be around, because all those things will lead to that. If you're someone who's bringing other people down, you're complaining all the time, then no one wants to spend time with you. So just be positive. Compliment people, be genuine in your interactions, but just find the best in life. And naturally people will gravitate towards you and want to be around you because you're just a good time. And that's all it really is. Also, just do fun guy-like things, which means having open body language, smiling a lot. Don't make fun of others and put them down. Naturally be someone who supports others. When someone tells you their dreams, be a cheerleader for them. It's all about that. Just don't be a stressed guy, a worrier who's always going on about how the government's after them or their life sucks. No one wants to be around that. Be an escape for them to be someone who's, simply put, a good time. And yeah, just be your weird self. Like be your authentic, genuine, fun, goofy self. That means dancing funny, do that. That means doing weird crap, do it. Because it's so funny, we always think we have to put on a mask for someone, right? To be presentable in a way that makes someone else like us. The more we remove that mask and show our real face to someone, the more they're gonna genuinely like us. We're so starved in this country, in this generation, for authenticity, to the point that even reality TV shows are scripted, and we still watch them anyway because we're just so starved for reality, that anything you do that's authentic, that's genuinely you, people will love you for it. And you may think it's weird because that's your condition to do so, but trust me, bro, I've done some crazy crap. I've done some absolutely unexcusable, weird things, but my friends love me for me regardless, even more so because of that, because I'm that guy, right? So be yourself and truly just, embrace your authentic weirdness and let that shine. And it's beautiful in its own way. And I'm telling you, man, that's what people will really love about you. Lastly, you want to be very easygoing and flexible, because if you're someone who's constantly picky or saying, I don't want this restaurant, I don't want to do this thing, I don't want to do that, no one's going to want you. Here's the mindset you want to have. You want to be the guy who they can invite to an art gallery viewing, like something dead boring, and you're still gonna make it a fun going time because you're just a great guy and you're never gonna complain and you're just gonna be a positive person to be around. So, and let's say one day you're driving with them and the tire gets flat. Instead of you complaining or worrying about it, you're gonna find a way to make it positive. You're easygoing, you go with the flow, and you always are there to help each other out. That's kind of the basis of this whole being a nice guy type thing and being a good time. A great way to make this actionable is something called the party bubble. Basically, anyone in your arm's reach should be having a great time. If it doesn't matter if you're at the airport, it doesn't matter if you're at a club, it doesn't matter if you're at a restaurant, whatever. If someone's in your arm's reach, include them in the conversation. Ask them what's going on, how's everything, like what's up? Like, and if let's say you're at the airport and someone's upset, be like, hey, is everything all right? Like everyone in your arm's reach, as soon as they enter the party bubble, they're having a great time. They're doing fun shit because you're that guy, right? As soon as they enter the party bubble, you're smiling, you're happy. Someone's saying something negative, you turn it into a positive. That's all it is. So always within arm's reach thing, anyone who enters this space is suddenly in the party bubble and they have to have a guaranteed good time because of you. This is the energy you want to encapsulate in a nutshell. You are always having a good time and you are the expert at good vibes. And that magnetic energy will just draw people into you because people want some of that in their life. And that's all it takes. Now, obviously you're human and I want you to be your amazing, beautiful self. So it's not possible to be having a good time 24/7. You're gonna have your ups and downs. You're gonna have moments when you're upset. You're gonna have problems in your life. This advice that I'm giving right now is for you when you're meeting someone for the first time. That means you're just making an impression. This is your first time meeting them. That's all it is. Because what's gonna happen is over time, you're gonna make a lot of these casual friends. And you're gonna start to weed out the people who are just casual drinking buddies, of people you don't even wanna spend time with, and people who you really click with, you generally wanna spend more and more time with them. And this is where I want you to start focusing a majority of your time on, how to build deeper and meaningful, authentic relationships with these people, the ones you actually care about. And the formula to do is pretty simple. Just spend more time with them. It really is that easy. And it doesn't mean like when I say spend time, like texting them and keeping in touch. That's what chicks do. Like for us dudes, we can't just text them and be like, hey, how's it going? And just have like nonsense conversations. That means, back to principle 2, host them, invite them, make plans with them, organize trips with them. I mean, even if something as basic as one of my friends, he mentioned one time that he wants to try cold plunging in sauna because he saw that's in right now. So I found a cold plunge in sauna near us, like a place called Bathhouse, and we went and we had a great time. And now 6 years later, we still find healthy activities and text each other and things to do. And that's how we catch up. That's literally all we do, just go to these kind of cold plunge things and we have a great time. So keep spending time with the people who you want to be with and talk to them, ask them about real shit, you know, like hug them. Tell them you like spending time with them. Tell them you miss them. Tell them you had a great time last week with them and you want to run that crap back. Because life's too short and you never know when someone's gonna be gone. Just like those public health burials, you want to make sure they know that you're there for them. And that in turn will reciprocate, because another thing that's missing often in men is vulnerability. Being honest and being friends and buddies with each other. You can't just be surface level if you want to build deep and meaningful, authentic relationships. You have to let go of yourself and share parts of yourself. Your job isn't to just ask them questions about them and learn who they are at their core. Your job is to do that about yourself. The way I do that is every time I ask them like a deep, important, meaningful question, I respond myself with that. I say, hey, like, when was the last time you were in a serious relationship? They may or may not answer. I answer anyways. And by you opening yourself up, by you being more vulnerable, and you just machine gunning value to all these people, suddenly they're gonna do the same, and that's what creates a relationship that's gonna stand the test of time and will be one of your best friends. And you'll have multiple best friends, and that's the best part about this. Also for these people, the one you wanna have better relationships with, do things for them. Like, that's what good friends do. They're nice to each other and they help each other out. So help them move, walk their dog, give them advice, help them through a breakup. If they get laid off, be there for them. Just constantly be offering your help over and over again. And trust me, that's what really makes them feel special. And it'll come back to you eventually in their own ways of them helping you. But that's not the point of this. The point is you just being a nice person, being a good time, and helping them anyway, even if they didn't ask for it. And on the flip side, celebrate them. If you hear about something they've done that's been amazing, like let's say they got a new job or they got a promotion, get them a box of cookies, or I don't know, get them an Amazon gift card. If you hear that they're sick, get them some soup from Uber Eats. Just always be supporting them. If they hit a life goal, like they run a marathon for the first time, they cross out their bucket list, take them out for drinks. All these things will cost you less than $25, but they'll remember it for the rest of their lives. So quick bonus principle is principle number 4, that is ask for favors. I wanted to jam pack this video for y'all with value, and this is a quick hack that I think anyone can do to instantly skyrocket their relationship like strength. And it's something no one really talks about whatsoever. And it's asking favors from friends. I know that sounds a bit counterintuitive, but let me get into what I mean. What's the point of friends if they don't make life easier for you, right? Great friends do things for each other. That's how it is. And that's kind of to my last point when I said you should be helping them. They should be helping you as well. So whether that's taking pictures for a YouTube thumbnail or bringing appetizers for your new Dune 2 watch party, whatever that is, ask them for a favor. And it doesn't have to be something crazy. It can just be like, hey, I need help with this job interview. Can you help ask me questions? By asking them for favors, it will psychologically make them feel like they're closer to you. See, when you ask for a favor, it's tough for the other person to say no. But what happens is that they will obviously do it, and then they will be putting their own time, money, energy, or effort into helping you with this favor. So first of all, they'll be happy that you asked them in the first place because that means you thought of them. But secondly, by investing their own time and energy, it's almost like they're putting themselves into the effort of this relationship, which will make the bond even stronger between you two. Because they're doing something for you, and no one, it's not like they had to do it in the first place. They're choosing to do it. So by investing their own time in the relationship, they feel more invested in the relationship itself. Plus, if they said no and they don't want to help you, good, because you don't need them in the first place and they're not a good friend, and it's an easy test to weed that person out because you don't have time in your life to be spending with people who don't want to be with you. The price you pay for having low value people in your life is your life. So the second someone says no, cut them off. You have a lot of other friends you're making through all these other principles that will be worth your time. So this is the hack I kind of use when I want someone to be a closer friend faster. I literally use the words, hey, can you do a favor for me? And then I say what the favor is. A funny one that I did recently was I had a big party at my house, and my house was, my apartment was totally trashed. What you see behind me, it was not looking like that at all. And the next day I woke up and I had so much anxiety and I was like, crap, I couldn't even get started because my apartment was so messy. I didn't even know what to do. So I called up my friend. Funny, he wasn't even at the party, but I called a friend of mine and I was like, hey man, can you come over and just help me clean up? I asked him for a favor, right? Like, hey, can I ask you a favor? Can you please come and help me clean up? I can't do this right now. It was funny, so he laughed, he was like, sure man, I'll be over there in 30 minutes. And we cleaned up my apartment, something that would have taken an hour and a half for me. I couldn't even get started to do. It took 30 minutes and we were laughing the whole time about stupid crap. That's what it's all about. And I'm sure by him investing that time, I'm gonna think of him. And I think that's really nice that he did that, and just makes our bond even stronger. So wrap these 4 principles up. It's all this. None of this should feel like work. All this is about expanding your life. It's about creating serendipitous moments and making new connections, meeting potentially the love of your life, making best friends, and ultimately fulfilling your soul's purpose, which is to have love surrounding you of people who love you and that you love them. And here's the thing too, I'm never forcing myself to be with people I don't want to spend time with. Ultimately, after this whole process, after many years, you're gonna come to where I am right now, where you just have 4 to 6 core friend groups that you're constantly trying to meet all the time. I'm not in an effort to make new friends or meet new people. I already have the people I like. And sure, I'll add more people or subtract more people, but overall it's just like 4 to 6 groups. And I'm just making plans with them. I'm organizing trips with them. I'm constantly going out to see them and spend time to make sure I deepen those relationships even further. And that's where it really comes down to. And that's it guys, let me know in the comments down below, what is one principle from this list that surprised you the most? And if you're new here, my name is Sid and I like to put out video essays like these once a week where I go in depth on a self-improvement topic and break it down into actionable pieces for you to digest and actually put into your life. And if that's something that interests you and you got value from this video, please consider giving this video a thumbs up. It takes 1 second of your time, but it helps me a ton. And consider subscribing and connecting with me further at Sid Chawla on Instagram and signing up for my newsletter at sidchawla.com/newsletter, where I share my best monthly personal development insights straight to your inbox. Lastly, if you're serious about self-improvement and want to close that gap between who you currently are and who you're capable of being, check out my course, The Success Formula. Link is in the description box down below. I'll go ahead and share what video you should watch next over here. And until next time, guys, keep crushing it.